What's up guys, this is a magnetising video. It was requested by Tom Andrews 2954. I said I'd do it for you and here it is. You're welcome. So we're going to build a Dominator engine up to this point. Once we get to this part of the instructions here, we are not going to carry on like that. We're going to do it a little bit differently. So build your shoulder. You're going to have these little holes. You're going to drop a little bit of super glue in it and then drop a magnet into this little tiny hole here. It disguises quite well. Looks like it's supposed to be there. So just drop a bit of super glue in. Make sure that it's flush. You don't want it sticking out over the gap. You want it flush with the line of the gear, if you like. A little bit of super glue activated just to make sure it's set in. Once we get to this part here, you're going to have these two pieces. Now, these will glue together. You can either do this before or after, but we're going to need to cut these little knobs out the inside. So I did it after. So get it all glued together. Once you've got a solid piece, see them two little nubbins? They need to be cut out. So they would normally go through the hole that we filled with a magnet, and then you can rotate slightly on the axis in that hole. But we're just going to cut them completely out. 1, 2, see you later. Get them gone. Try and clean them up as much as you can. It's not the end of the world, but you just want it quite flush so your magnet sits nice. Just check that you got full clearance. Yep, it still moves. I can drop it on there, and then it's as simple as drop a bit of super glue in there, drop another magnet on. This one can be a little bit bigger if you want. I use the same size, but it doesn't really matter. Once you've got them, once you got that bit magnetized, they should just clip together, like so. Yeah, nice. And then you should have something like this. Apologies for the terrible framing. Definitely not even close to the middle, but what are you going to do? Once you've done it, you should have something that looks a bit like this. Just finish off the rest of the instructions as normal, and then the bane maces will just attach like so. The other for whatever the cannons are called, immolation cannons, is it? They work exactly the same way. So exactly the same here. Look, you just flip them off, put the other ones on, so you can have one of each if you want. It's not strictly legal, but whatever. But it's as easy as that, guys. Nothing to it really. The magnets, I'm not exactly sure what size it was. I bought a multi-pack off Amazon and it was in there. I will link the magnets down below that I used. They were small though. Just measure the size of the hole and buy magnets accordingly if you don't get the ones from down below. And that's it, guys. Grand reveal. Please like, subscribe and all that YouTube jazz. And if you want to see how the Bombardier cannons are magnetized, you can check out this video here. Cheers guys. Laters.